Hello and welcome to Byju's IAS. Before we begin today's quiz, an important announcement. Byju's is bringing to you a very important workshop on the 2nd of Jan 2022 at 11 a.m. This 1 hour workshop will be taken by Rohit sir and he will be discussing how to read the newspapers effectively for the civil services examination. If you're interested in attending this workshop, do register with the help of the link that is given in the description of the video. Now let's begin the daily quiz with question number 1 on your screen now. Which of the following nations in India's neighborhood recently constituted a Hindu temple management committee to look after the nation's temples? Is it Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Myanmar, or Bangladesh? The correct answer here is B. Pakistan is the one that has created this committee. This is the news that came out in the Indian Express today, according to which the first body of Hindu leaders has been appointed to manage temples in Pakistan. Interestingly, Pakistan already has a Pakistan Sikh Gurdwara Management Committee that takes care of the Sikh Gurdwaras in the country of Pakistan. It is important to note that Pakistan has been under constant criticism for not giving due safeguards to their minorities, be it the Hindus or the Christians. This step taken by the government is meant to appease the minority community within the country and also improve the image of Pakistan throughout the world. Next, question number 2. Consider the following statements with regards to the Goods and Services Tax Council, also called the GST Council. Number 1. It is a statutory body established under an Act of Parliament. Second, the GST Council is chaired by the Union Finance Minister and other members are the Union Minister of Revenue or Finance and ministers in charge of finance or taxation of all the states. Third, the members of the councils from the states have to choose one amongst themselves to be the vice chairperson of the council. Which of these given statements is or are correct? Out of the 3 given statements, the first one is wrong because the GST Council is actually a constitutional body. It has been formed under the provisions given in Article 279A and makes recommendations to the union and the state government on the issues related to the GST. As you know, the GST was introduced in the country in the form of 101st Constitution Amendment Act of 2016. The second and the third statements are true. Every decision of the council is taken at a meeting by a majority of not less than 3/4 votes. The votes have been divided in such a manner that the union government's representatives have 1/3 votes, while 2/3 votes are divided equally amongst the states. That is why it is said that although it is a federal body, but it is heavily in favor of the union government. The reason why we are discussing the question is because the GST Council meet will be held very soon and the GST rate on textile and the duty structure may be an issue. You would have seen that the government had earlier proposed that the GST on textile will be increased from 5% to 12% effective from the 1st of January. The GST as of now has 5 tax slabs: 0%, 5%, 12%, 18%, and the highest one being 28%. Next, question number 3. Which of these nations is not a member of the New Development Bank, that is the NDB? Egypt, Bangladesh, Saudi Arabia, Ukraine, India, or China? You have to choose which of these is not a member of the New Development Bank. The correct answer here is C. 3 and 4, that is Saudi Arabia and Ukraine, are not members of the New Development Bank. The other ones are. As you know, the New Development Bank is a bank that was made by the BRICS countries initially and since then has had multiple countries join the bank in different capacities. Egypt being the latest nation to join this is a very small news article that came in today's Indian Express which tells us about Egypt joining the New Development Bank. The New Development Bank's website is still to update that information. So the screenshot that I took from the website still shows Egypt being a prospective member and Uruguay being a prospective member. However, the reality is that both of them have joined the bank. As you can see in the list, Saudi Arabia is not here. There is UAE and we don't have Ukraine. We have Uruguay, Egypt. Bangladesh became the first country to join the bank apart from the BRICS nations. Next, question number 4. Consider the following statements with regards to India's dairy sector. Number 1. India consistently ranks among the top 5 milk exporting nations in the world. Second, the dairy farmers in India have been included in the Kisan Credit Card program. Third, though the value of milk produced outweighs the combined value of the output of wheat and rice in India, there is no official and periodical estimate of the cost of production and minimum support price for milk. Which of these given statements is or are correct? Now, the fact is that India is one of the largest milk producing nations in the world. But because we have so much population and demand for milk that we don't really export a lot of milk. We are nowhere close to the highest exporting milk nations in the world. The second and the third statements are true. The answer here is C. The dairy farmers have also been included in the Kisan Credit Card program, and there is no concept of MSP or estimate of the cost of production for milk in India, despite the dairy sector being such a major sector in India ever since the Amul cooperation movement became a hit. The reason why we are discussing the question is because the Bharatiya Kisan Union, that is one of the unions of the farmers in India, have raised their voice against the government's decision to finalize the comprehensive economic cooperation agreement with Australia. India and Australia have been trying to finalize their trade agreement by the end of 2022, and there are reports that it may also include the dairy sector. Farmer Union has pointed out that they don't want the dairy sector of India to be open to competition from foreign countries, and they would oppose this view of the government. In fact, one of the reasons that Indian government did not join the RCEP, that is a trade agreement led by the ASEAN nations, was again because India did not want its dairy sector to be facing threat from outside nations. Next is a previous year question from 2019. In India, the use of carbofuran, methyl parathion, phorate, and triazophos is viewed with apprehension. These chemicals are used as pesticides in agriculture, preservatives in processed foods, fruit ripening agents, or moisturizing agents in cosmetics. The correct answer here is A. These are used as pesticides in agriculture. These are pesticides and are mainly used to control insects, but the problem is most of them are absorbed by the plants through the roots and thus is distributed through the other organs of the plants. These are extremely toxic, particularly for the birds who come and feed from those plants. Next, the fact of the day today is the Aryan invasion theory. The reason why this old history topic is in the news is because a 2022 calendar of IIT Kharagpur on the theme of evidence has said that the Aryan invasion theory that is used to justify the end of the Harappan civilization is nothing but a myth. The claims that have been made in the calendar have been criticized by many writers and well known historians throughout the world. One of the people who opposed this argument was Tony Joseph, the well known author of the book Early Indians, who said that the formation of human population in South and Central Asia is a strong example of evidence of people migrating from Central Asia towards Indian subcontinent somewhere between 2000 and 1500 BCE. IIT Kharagpur, on the other hand, has said that out of all the responses that they have received for their calendar, about 80% of them are positive, and thus the IIT is sticking to its stand and not taking it back. Now, as you know, the historians till date have not come to the common page about what resulted in the end of the Indus Valley civilization. Of all the theories that are given, the one that is supported by most of the historians is the Aryan invasion theory. This is a hypothesis which says that a group of people called Aryans invaded northern India and destroyed the Indus Valley civilization. On the other hand, the people who oppose it say that it was the British who created this hypothesis to conquer India and to establish their own superiority. The theory further says that these Aryans, after capturing the northern part of India, moved towards the southern part of India, and subsequently, these people composed the Vedas. This is not the first time that there's a debate about whether or not this theory has any evidence or not. This is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching.